confession. Now, if you commented on my last video or even read through the comments, you kind of know what I'm about to say. Yesterday's video was for me. I needed it. I'm sure you guys did too, but half the time, if not more, I feel like I make these videos and end up having to listen to them myself. It's been rough. I mean, I've had some good highs. The direction my church is headed is good. It's godly. It's something I've craved for a long time. Churches have just kind of gotten it wrong for so long, you know, that you settle for at least a well-meaning church, right? Have you been there? And my church was one of those churches, well-meaning, loving and kind, giving. You really couldn't find much fault, but truly living on fire, truly being all in, living as we're really called to live, was still not happening. We weren't out making disciples. We weren't discipling and sharpening each other. We're just kind of surviving. So that is going well. It is a shift that is happening all throughout my church. But the enemy, he really does combat that. He is not okay with God's bride waking up. If you look around, there are so many churches that he's really the king of, not God. He has slowly collected churches in his pocket. And I think in the past, this church was one of them. And then they hired my dad about 8 years ago, knowing they needed a new trajectory, right? New direction. Because those who were truly believers knew things were wrong. And we've been fighting it for 8 years. Now, I've only been here for about half of that, in the beginning and 3 now. The enemy doesn't want to let go. And it sounds silly, but every time we get any kind of momentum, technical issues hit us. And that sounds simple and silly. And like, okay, that's a hassle, right? You're fine. Not in this day and age when everything's tied up through our emails, through our website, through our app, through our Facebook page, right? All our communications, how we send information, how we are very big prayer warriors here. So our prayer chain. I mean, I send out maybe 3 to 4 emails a week where we are praying over each other. But our tech has been hit over and over and over. And we finally thought we fixed it. So yesterday, I make this video, right? Saying, don't be discouraged. Keep going. Yeah, the enemy's there. He's always there. Especially if you're trying to step up. Especially if you're trying to be authentic and genuinely following Jesus. Oh, he rears his ugly head. And the video for yesterday, it was for me, because before that we had a staff meeting. And even though we had all these good things we were looking forward to, we also had a bunch of things we were looking at that were trying to crop up, these ugly little things. And we really had to pray so hard before we dismissed. And then I get in my car to go pick up kids, and I'm seeing other YouTubers discouraged. And I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like, okay, God, you are on the move. I know you are. I'm seeing things happen. But it seems like hand in hand, there's such a weight. There's such discouragement. It's like treading through thick mud. I'm making progress. My church is making progress. And maybe even you feel this, like, I'm making progress, but I'm exhausted. Have you ever walked through mud? I have. And the way it sucks your foot down, and it takes so much strength to pull your foot out and then step again and then pull your foot out. I'm making progress, but I'm exhausted and I'm getting discouraged. So I make that video. And it kind of helped me. And even then I kind of felt like, okay, I think I needed to hear that. But here's the catch. I had to bring my laptop home that day because our staff meeting was that intensive. So I had things to get done. And my laptop was already showing some red flags like, uh-oh, I think I'm going to have some tech issues again. So I was a little smart for once, and I saved some documents that have been giving us issues in another safe spot. So glad I did. Because I get home and nothing will open. Our emails, the shared drive that I've needed that our past secretary left behind that has all the important things like bulletins, our Wednesday report. It sounds silly, but just all those things that help a church function. Everything was gone, or I was locked out. The office email, gone, just disappeared. It didn't exist. The templates, I'm locked out of. Yesterday, before it locked me out, it would let me look at them, but I couldn't touch them. So that was one of my red flags. And I broke down. And I know it sounds silly, but you guys, I have been fighting this uphill battle for so long. And after such an emotionally charged staff meeting, and after picking myself up, right? You ever done that where you're just like, no, I won't get discouraged. I won't. I'm going to keep my chin up. And in fact, while I do it, I'm going to do my best to encourage others to do the same. And it's like the enemy knew she's just one more domino away from breaking down. Because that's all it took. Coming home to hurry and get 2 more things done so I could be with my family. And instead, I sat at my table with my laptop for an hour and a half with my husband trying to help me figure out what to do. How do I accomplish my job? And I just cried. And I felt so defeated and I felt so silly because it's like I literally just made a video about don't get defeated, don't get discouraged. But we're living real lives. So if you ever think that somehow I'm this calm, all put together person over here, oh, I am so not. I'm authentic, I'm real, I'm raw. And I think we all need to admit this. We have a lot of posers out there. We have a lot of fakes. And you see it in churches, those churches that are in his pocket. Jesus needs us to start being real. All in and real. No pride. No gaslighting. This is me. I'm a mess. When stress comes my way, I can handle it for a while, but eventually it can wear me down, just as I'm sure it wears you down. I'm learning to respond appropriately, though. I let myself cry. That's a girl thing, I'm sure. I needed it. And then I kept working. And then I pulled away and I read my Bible. Even though my family kind of needed me, I also knew they needed a grounded version of me. Because in the past, out of guilt, I'll rush into family time and I'm irritable, I'm impatient, I'm unkind. So I'm learning that even though it feels counterintuitive to take even more time away from my family, it is oh so necessary. I think that's why it is so necessary to be honest with ourselves, where we're at, what we're dealing with, because when you do that, it's easier to see what you need to do to fix it. No more posing. Let's be real together. Let's be authentic. Let's grow and encourage each other for sure. Encouragement is what everyone needs right now. And that's what my church is striving for. The things we're facing, the list is long. And I'm sure yours is. And if you're at a church, you may be dealing with the same things. Churches are getting hit right now. If you're in his pocket, you're not getting hit at all. You may be doing just fine. But if you're striving to do God's will, prepare. Put the armor on. You're going to take some hits, but keep standing.